Hello, welcome back to Space Engineers. In today's video, we're looking at another small block mining ship, where this one is exceptionally impressive because it's got lots of moving parts on it, and it's called the Ceres Heavy Miner, which is this lovely thing over here. So this is a rectangular ship with drills at the front, which doesn't really look too special at the end of the day. Until I press number 1, well, what's going to happen is, flaps are going to open up on the side, and then the drilling arm's going to push out and move all the way towards the front, and basically extend all the way out. But we can do one more. Once they're in place, which will take a few seconds, we then extend it out further using two sets of pistons, one on the angled arm that comes off the body, a second set that goes on the straight line near the drill heads. Press number 2, there it goes all the way forwards. Press number 3, and there we have the second set of pistons. That just extend it all the way out, giving you even more reach, be able to reach all these little ore patches in the asteroid, and basically do some deep core mining without needing to drive the vehicle all the way in. I'll retract them all the way back in, there we go. Of course, you can't fiddle around these or your wands, but now we're going to put them back in how they were. Then take a second look at the actual moving process of the arms folding back into the ship, and then back out again. So now they're all folded back into their standby position. Now I'm going to come over to here, and I'm going to press number 1 once again. That's going to fold all the way back. So over here you can see two flaps open up, and now the arm's going to fold all the way back into that little gap. Then once it's in place, flaps then fold all the way down, and then seal it inside. And there we are. Now it's back to how it was when I spawned it in. You can look at it like so from the top, doing it one more time. There we go, press number 1, they open up. Out pop the arms, and they slide all the way forwards into their drilling position. Of course you can extend them out if you really wanted to, but you can't do that while it's moving. No, there's an actual safety system in place to make sure you can't accidentally retract these, extend these out while it's moving around. You have to wait until they're in position before you can actually start to do that. So finally, putting it all the way back to how it was, going like this, pressing F10, finding the spawn menu, the Ceres Heavy Miner is 1,390 small blocks, using a couple of the DLC packs. We see up here there is a heavy miner designed for outer space asteroid mining. It's fully ion thruster enabled, making it extremely efficient and compact, and it's equipped with 2 medium and 1 modular cargo container to store all your stuff inside. All the way down here, a few notes about it, but we don't need to read them. Then of course down there it's all your controls of how it works. So giving this thing a thumbs up, we're going to move around towards the very front, have a good look around the outside, go through the controls, drive up to an asteroid, actually test it out, and I believe that'll be that for this video. So for the very front of the heavy mining ship, this is what we get. We're right in the middle, and you can see we've got an industrial cockpit to drive this thing around, with then ion thrusters top and bottom to help slow this thing down. In between them is of course our drilling arms, we've already talked about them, so just come around onto the side, which has the sunlight. There's a lot of sunlight on either side, so going like this. And that will have to do. Looks like I'm just in a bad place for sunlight. Okay, look at it on this side. There we are. So we see where the arm is all neatly tucked away into the middle of the ship. On the top and the bottom, once again, some more iron thrusters, just 4 small ones to help on your left and right. Across here, we've got 2 more large ones to greatly assist on your left and right. Then down to here, your landing legs, which do also fold all the way up into the ship. Not as fancy as the drilling arms. No, they just fold all the way up, straight into their horizontal position, and just stay there until you click the button once again. Up to here, look at the back. There we go. Run towards the very back of this thing. There we are. So as you can see, we've got once again 8 small iron thrusters, then 4 large ones. Connector in the middle, dock it up. A camera to help dock that thing up, and of course to reverse out any holes you made. Then moving all the way up, looking down. There we are, some armor panels just around those iron thrusters. There's our connector to actually dock up once again. So just in case there's a very wonky connector you try and dock up to, where you can't realistically use the one at the back, you then have this option with the exact same setup with a camera right next to it. Once again, more small iron thrusters. There's a large one, a couple more small ones, another large one, another front there. There we go. Moving all the way down underneath this thing, here we are. I'm going to put my light on for this one. There we are, I've got 2 little searchlights for you to control. Actually take over them to view what's going on and make sure you've got plenty of clearance around this vehicle and to see if you're scraping onto anything, as you would say, coming out of a hangar bay or through a tunnel. Over there, iron thrusters. Over there, camera. There's another connector to dock it up. And I believe just because the ground is so close to this thing, it's probably going to be a better idea for me to take this thing off. There we go. Now put the camera like so. Getting a very good view of the bomb here, that's a lot better. But yes, once again, a bunch of iron thrusters, large ones, small ones, a connector and camera setup, a bunch of beam logs for extra decoration, and of course we can see our landing legs made out of a hinge, onto a truss block, onto another hinge, onto a magnetic plate, with some interior lights for an extra bit of decoration. Getting a bit closer over to here. There we go. Cross towards the back. And there we are. Now what I'm going to do is press number 1, open that up so we get a better look at the arms themselves once they're fully extended all the way out. Here they come all the way across, and then into this section while it's extending out. So in its cubby hole where it sits when it's not in use, this is what we get. So you can see a bunch of small batteries in there, give it a nice bit of power, and there was the little flaps on the side closing up. The arms themselves, on the back of this thing, we see 2 hinges come all the way across on some steel blocks in the grey and orange colouring. That comes all the way across onto this section, we've got some more hinges. Onto that part, even more hinges. I've got a reverse hinge right there. That comes all the way up to this part, which is going to have your drilling head on the end of it. On this part, we then got 2 more batteries, and then got a truss line in the middle. Oh, here's a very clear view of our hinge right there. So pressing number 4, we now rotate that around, and get it at a good angle. Doing again, there we are. On the middle here, we then got our sorters going across from a bunch of conveyors. There's your ore detector. There's some rotor heads for a bit of extra decoration. There's 2 of the brand new square pistons, which I do absolutely love for how they fit in pretty much every single design compared to the traditional pistons. Over here, even more hinges, more pistons, more rotor heads. And on this section, your antenna, 2 spotlights. Then on the main body, O2H2 generator, another gyroscope. And in this part, we've got a sneaky little area where we can see then, right there, another ore detector. And with that, that's it for the outside of the Ceres Heavy Miner. It looks bloody fantastic with how it's been all set up. Do absolutely love the arm system, especially the way the flaps on the side right here open and close allow them to extend all the way out. That'll close up. And there we are, it's just a nice little touch, which is not necessary. You don't even need to have those flaps there in general. It's perfectly fine having it open, but putting them there makes it look a lot better and a lot more neater. Anyway, grabbing hold of my character, bring up the HUD, but first of all, first person view, looking all around. And there we are, I suppose I could do for good measure, press number 1. And watch the arms come out in the first person view. So there they are, they just move away from the cockpit and slowly move forward. Then on the left hand side. There we are. It is quite noisy when they go into position. But no, we can now press number 2 to extend them out, and that's going to be 1 on each side here. All the way out. The ones that are fully extended, then press number 3, which then be for the ones next to our drilling arms. So pressing that, and there goes these ones over here. So we can get quite a nice distance away from the vehicle, which is jolly good stuff. But like I said at the very start of the video, for deep core mining, so rather than shoving the vehicle all the way through, I have the option of putting these arms into the asteroid, which is well a great alternative when you don't want to make a ship that can drive all the way through an asteroid. Anyway, let's press number 2, 3 again. That's going to pull all the way back. Then realign the camera. Now press number 4. There we go. That's going to rotate our heads, get it into position, be able to drill in different areas. So pressing 4 again, it straightens out. There we are. Then it gets angled once again. Anyway, back into a first person view, we've got number 5 ton the drills on and off. Number 6 then for your landing legs below the vehicle. So down here, once again with the free camera, pressing number 6, down goes the landing legs, which once again hinges onto truss blocks, onto hinges, onto a magnetic plate. 6 again, we'll lift that up. And there we are, it's just a very simple thing to hide the landing legs. Anyway, back into the first person view once again. Number 7, 8 and 9 is going to be your searchlights at the very front, where 7 and 9 is going to be to take over them to see what's going on, with number 8 being to turn them on and off. On tab number 2, we've got our cameras and connectors, with number 1 is going to be your camera on top, number 4 is then for your camera below the ship, and then number 7 for your camera at the back of the ship, with then your connectors to lock and unlock them. On tab number 3, we've got nothing else, so now it's time to fly over to an asteroid and actually test out the arms properly. Maybe I'll extend out the arms while drilling to see how that handles it. And here we are now approaching this asteroid. This asteroid is very odd because it's got an almost completely flat surface. I did not fiddle with it whatsoever. This is simply how it naturally spawns. But no, I'm going to come all the way up to it, nice and close. What I'm going to do now, press number 5, turn them on, press number 1, and then out comes the arms. With a free camera, we're going to look at it like so we get a good angle of what's going on here, and hiding the HUD. There we are, so that's a perfect showcase of these arms extending all the way out, going into the asteroid and drilling everything up. Now we'll need to press number 4 to make sure those steel blocks next to the drill heads don't take damage, but there we are, that's now all properly ready to go. I can now press number 2, extend that out. It's now going to start to drill into the asteroid. And once they're finally fully extended, I'll press number 3, and I'll start to push it into the asteroid. There it goes. And I can see that the ship is slowly being pushed away, but it doesn't really matter at the end of the day, because once they're fully extended out, I'll take over the ship and start to shove it into the asteroid. And there we are. It's now pushing it forwards. Very carefully now. I'll use the free camera like this. And slowly, very slowly, start to push it forwards. So you see me bouncing every now and again when I push it too far. But eventually we will get up to the point where the cockpit rubs up against the asteroid surface, which is where we'll get a good look on the inside of the asteroid, the arms, and how they're looking. So in the first person view, this is what it's like. It's actually quite nice because you can just about make out the drilling arms on both sides, so you do have generally good field of view of what's going on when drilling into an asteroid. But here we go, we're now about to plonk into the surface, and there we are, that's as far as I can go. Holding down forwards, nothing's going to happen anymore. So with the free camera, coming up like so, and there we are, that's an absolute perfect example of these arms and what you can do. They're all the way into the asteroid, turning off them. Now ready to pull this out and retract up all the arms. Now before we do this, what you do have to make sure you do is actually pull the arms out of the asteroid, because despite pressing number 3, that's all perfectly fine. If you press number 2, which is going to be for these ones right here, that will cause issues, will cause the arms to slam into the asteroid for my testing, and will blow up the drilling heads, which is something you don't want to do. So with this, pulling away, there we go. I'm going to press number 2, pull them back, and we see all around me all the stone that's been ejected out of our small connectors, or the large connector at the back there. But yes, it's going to eject out everything we don't need. You can personalize that depending on what you want to keep. Go to press number 1, they can be folded all the way back in. Now it's time for me to turn away and drive this off back to base with everything I've collected. If I've collected anything, I'm not too sure what I've got on here, which I'll check in just a moment. So into here, finding all the empty, what do I have? I've got a lot of stone which is going to be all ejected out, and well, not too much else on the inside here. I actually thought that was a bit of ice, maybe I did miss out, maybe it's just a wonky little texture, I'm not too sure. No, driving around here for a little thruster test, this is what it's like with the HUD up. And there we are, so no, we're not the fastest thing in the world, but we don't have to be for a mining ship. Generally going to be nearby a larger ship to actually go drop everything off, or nearby a station which we can easily fly over to in a reasonable amount of time. Anyway, moving left, and moving right, again some nice speed with that. Moving up, and moving down, some nice speed with that. And of course moving this around, here we go, we are very, very heavy. We do have a fair bit of stuff on the inside, so that's going to be contributing a little bit to the weight of this thing. But no, it's very heavy, you've got to take this nice and slow. In fact, you're forced to take this nice and slow. Still perfectly suitable for a mining ship. But as for that, that's pretty much it for the Ceres Heavy Miner. It's a fantastic little mining ship with some fantastic folding arms, which I do absolutely love. I believe the only way to finish off the video is of course to crash it while the arms are fully extended out, so we can blow them up and maybe the rest of the ship. So here we go to finish off the video. I'm now charging along towards the asteroid, got my jaws turned on, arms fully extended out, here we go. And there we are, a nice big explosion. And it looks like we did actually go quite far into the asteroid, that's actually quite amazing. Looking like so, that's a pretty big hole. And for the arms, looks like we've of course lost our drilling parts, and the cockpit at the front, largely we're in one piece. So if you do have an accident, if you do slam straight into a base, into an asteroid, it's not too bad at the end of the day, because most of the important stuff, i.e. your cargo, is going to be in one piece. But yes, that's enough for me messing around with this. Oop, it's not in the clipboard. There we go. Yes, there'll be a link to a description below to which you download and play around yourself. Highly recommend you do, because it's an absolute fantastic design, and I highly recommend just downloading it to check out the arms and how they extend all the way out, because this is a nice neat way of actually hiding the arms and keeping your design nice and compact overall when it's in storage. So yes, like I said, there'll be a link to a description below for the link to Skybox I'm currently using. I'll be back with another video sometime soon. Bye bye.